The worst thing about depersonalization, besides the constant anxiety, a million thoughts per second that you can't keep track of, depression, loss of energy, body aches, outstanding separation from being connected with your body. The list goes on. Besides all that, the worst part is that we have to feel this awful while we literally don't know who we are because we have a complete separation from our sense of identity completely. Or at least that's how bad it was for me. And I know it's been that bad for others. And as we lose our sense of self-identity, we also lose our self-esteem. And our self-esteem is tied to what we're good at, what we're passionate about, our talents. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you like to knit, swim, work out, write music, write poetry, weld, be an engineer. It literally doesn't matter what you do. All the stuff that you care about and that you're good at, such as those things, you start to completely lose interest in them and feel like you're so shitty at them and like you can't do them anymore. And it's so awful. You know, these things that we love to do are usually the things that make us hate life less. These are the things that we live for. And now with depersonalization, you're completely paired with these feelings of no interest at all for these things anymore. And when you do gain interest, you don't believe that you can do them as well as you could anymore. You're worried that you're going crazy or that you're not going to get yourself back or get healed. It's such a terrible feeling. And so we generally fall away from these things. But these things, what I'm trying to say is these things are tied together. What give us our self-esteem, what give us our sense of pride, and what are tied to our sense of self-identity. A huge part of this journey is ultimately getting our body chemistry on the right path. And to do that, the mind is very responsible for doing all of those things. And so for us to gain the power of our mind back, for us to gain this sense of self-identity back, we must get back into the things that we love, that we used to do, that we still do, but we don't do it as much because we think we're shitty at them, or things that you haven't never tried, but you think you'd be good at them. You know, what you're talented at and what you're passionate about, that's the true fruit of life, and that's ultimately tied to who you are and who you think you are. And that's very important, I believe, on this journey of getting back to normal, is instead of walking away from these things or not giving them your time anymore because you're focused on how shitty you feel, yeah, that's not the right way to go about it. You need to do a complete 180, and you need to, even if you don't have any feelings of interest for it at all, but you know it's ultimately good for you, you need to get into these things. You need to get back into your hobbies. You need to get that dream job that you want. You need to pick up the fucking guitar or the pen and pad or the fucking whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You have to get into it again. And you have to find the passion again. And eventually you'll get good at it if you're not good at it. And once you keep the ball rolling, that's ultimately a huge part of who you are already, is what you genuinely like to do. So it's very important that we figure this out and that we give our time to things that really matter, that are good for us and that are going to help us build on to our character. And once we do that, we're going to get this sense of self-identity back. We'll believe in ourselves more. And ultimately, we'll feel deserving. Instead of in pain all the time, we'll actually feel like we're somebody, like we're important, which is one of my biggest problems when I snapped into depersonalization. I just didn't feel important anymore. And I just felt like I was awful at what I love to do and that I should just fucking give up. And that's what exactly not to do. I really hope whoever's watching this took something away from this, because I 100% mean it. And That's one of the biggest things that made me feel better. I feel fucking great now. I'm not like 100%, but I'm like almost there. And it's because I'm finally harnessing all these millions of thoughts that go off. That's another big part, is harnessing your thoughts. We have a million and one thoughts firing off every second, right? And we don't know what to do with them. We think something and then think about something else and forget about what we thought about before. But really, once you can harness these thoughts too, that's also part of harnessing what you're passionate about. And you can, once you can learn to slow and calm yourself down and focus and get back into what you love doing, your life's going to get a whole lot fucking better. Take my word for it. For somebody who's been in depersonalization twice now. I'll see you guys next time.